What up, guys? Dr. Vic here. You're listening to another amazing episode here on the Mindful Experiment. Excited to have you guys here. I hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving if you celebrate that in the States and so forth. Great time for gratitude, to just take time to relax, to appreciate our time with others. I know my wife and I, with our new daughter, we're looking at, like creating our own traditions, taking the traditions of what we have from our families and what mattered most and what we enjoyed, and then creating our own from that. So it's been a fun Thanksgiving, and really, really good to just, take a little bit of the hands off the steering wheel and just relax a little bit and just reset a little. This episode this week is something that's going to be a little bit of a mind trick. This is reframing, and this is something that I do a little bit of reframing of the mind when I work with clients a lot. Actually do this a lot with them. It's how I manage energy, keep their consciousness levels or vibration higher, so that way they can keep focusing on manifesting and achieving what it is they desire. It's one of the ways what we do and create effortless success. It's kind of cool how this works. So, but when we're looking at, this concept, especially in life, we get so much, I see this in business owners, but even people do this in general. We've all done this where we have to do this, right? I have to get this done. I have to go do this. I have to, right? When you use that statement, again, I'm going to get very down to words here. When you use that statement, I have to, that means you don't have a choice. That means you're not really creating your life. That means you're reacting to life rather than choosing what you want to experience and what you want to do. Okay. And that's very disempowering. You're giving your power away, and that can lead to burnout and exhaustion and so forth. And when we do this, and I know I used to say this all the time, I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this. There's two parts to that. One just may be feeling like you have to go get this done. Right? Maybe I have to go pick up the kids. I have to go do this. I have to go to the grocery store. I have to go that, right? Could be just basic living stuff. Or in business, I have to get this project done. I have to go record this video. I have to go have this meeting. I have to go, right? We have all those. Then there's the other I have to's, because we've been conditioned in our subconscious to think this is how things should be, right? It's the statement of I should be doing this. I should be doing that. Sometimes it could come into I have to, like I have to go put content on social media, or God forbid if I don't, then I can't. I'm not going to be keeping my potential reach to get new clients, right? Or new leads or new whatever. And so there's two ways of how this kind of works. But what I want to do here is share something that can change the charge of that. Something that can really help you pull away from the I have to's and really kind of get away from that force energy and come back from a choice. And it's actually from, it's almost like gratitude. It's a state of being fortunate. And that's being said, instead of saying that I have to, say I get to, right? I used to be like, I remember I was telling my wife, I have to work out. I have to get this workout in. I got to get this workout in no matter what. And about 5 years ago, I could barely even take a walk. I couldn't even go take a walk with my wife to go walk my dog because my back was so bad, spasming and just not in a great place. And so I remember those days. And so when I catch myself saying I have to, I'll say, hold on, I get to. I get to go challenge my body, give it what it needs, so that it can stay stronger and keep me upright and keep me as healthy as possible to enjoy this thing we call life, right? I get to do that. How exciting. Some people can't, and I remember I had to lay on a bed, lay on a couch. I get home, I lay on a couch. I had to relax the spasms. I had to just unwind. It was the only place I could be comfortable. And I remember those days, right? Or I have to do this for a patient. No, I get the opportunity to do this for a patient. It's exciting. I have to do this for a client. I get to do this for a client. It's a state of being appreciative. You can see there's a different energy to that. And when you start to use I get to rather than I have to, now we're starting to change the framework, right? Because there's an energy change there. There's a total difference from I have to versus I get to. And when you start to really feel that difference, you're going to start to understand that, yeah, I like that. I get to. Right, I get to take the kids to their practice. I get to go to the grocery store. I get to do this because some people can't, and some people can. Right, I have to do this for the business. No, I get to do this for the business. It's a whole different concept, and I I've learned about this a couple of years ago because I've been studying words now for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's one of those things where simple little word changes, how it just changes the energy of something. I wrote this in my book, the Rediscover Your Greatness, where I talk about this, where the words that define the fabric of your reality. It's chapter 3, and it's one of those things that when you look at the principle of changing the charge, but I have this opportunity to. It really, really does um, allow you to elevate more in your consciousness because this didn't really hit home for me until it was 2006. It was 2016 is when I started. It was like the first seed that got planted. I wouldn't say I got it there. It was the first seed that got planted. It wasn't until 2017, beginning of 2018 where I really understood this. I had to go through this whole back thing to get there. Jerry Seinfeld, he's on his show. It's on Netflix. Comedians in car having coffee or something like that. And I almost am certain it's Eddie Murphy he was having this conversation with. I could have been someone else. I could be wrong. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost certain it was Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy and him are talking and they're in the car. And all of a sudden, Eddie looks at him and he goes, Jerry, why is it out of your whole career, you've never accepted an award? Because you had so many nominations and you've been chosen and you never accepted them. He goes, I don't understand. Why was that? And what he said here was the planting of the seed of I get to versus I have to. And here's why. Because in that moment, he goes, I'll never accept an award and the reason why I haven't is because the award is doing what I get to do every single day, is writing jokes. That's the award. The whole getting a trophy, that means nothing. It feeds your mind. He didn't say feed your mind, but, and when he said that hit home for me in a lot of ways. And when I started to understand this whole I get to versus I have to, and I started changing my vocabulary around with this, that's when I started to understand his process because he gets to write jokes. As long as he can, he will. Right? He's the most successful comedian in the world financially. I think Kevin Hart's going to give him a run for his money, but no pun intended. But one thing I understand is that he is the most successful. I think he's a billionaire now. And it's one of those things. He doesn't have to write jokes anymore, but he continues to because he gets to. That's the war. That's the journey. And so for Jerry, it's one of those things where when I learned that or, heard that, it really hit home for me. And so the point I'm trying to make in your life is, guess what? We all have these things that in our life that we feel like we just have to do, right? But what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to change the charge of it. This is the work I do. This is reframing your mind. Because what we're doing is we're trying to shift the lens and look at it from a different angle. And so when you say I have to versus I get to is more choosing. There's more freedom with that. There's a choice that comes with that. You see, the power is back within you rather than saying I have to, which means it's reactive, which means you don't have a choice, which means you're not truly a creator, which is a lie in itself because you are a creator. You are source energy. And so practice this in your life. It's a game changer. It's an energy changer. It's a consciousness level changer. It's going to be drastically different for you when you apply this. I'm telling you, I did this years ago. I started working on this, and I forget from time to time. I get back in that old habit of I have to. And then I'll catch myself and be like, why am I using that word? That's not what I want to use. And I'll get back to the whole I get to then. And it's just amazing how things will drastically change in the process from that. So be aware of your vocabulary. Be aware of yourself saying that. And just say I get to rather than I have to. And this will be a difference in your life energetically and moving forward in all that you do. So I hope I kept this short, kept it sweet, but I wanted to make sure that I came across with this because it's something that I work on a lot with clients. I work on a lot with reframing one's mindset, working on mindset, helping them align to grow their business or their life, to achieve their dream life, whatever it is that they want. When we work on the mind, everything all starts and ends with the mind. When we work there, we transform everything else. And it's one of those things that this is one of those little things that you can do that can literally shift the energy, which can make such a small change that it has huge benefits down the road to creating or attracting the dream life of what it is you choose. So I hope you were inspired by this. If you enjoyed this, please take a moment and subscribe to the podcast, share a review, and also pay it forward by someone that you may know. And hey, if you like what I've been sharing and you like the concept of what I've been going through, and you're like, man, I'm a business owner, or I'm somebody who wants to really try to change my life in some way, shape, or form, check out my call. Check out a time to come check out to. Take a moment and visit my website, www.callwithdrvic.com. And what they'll do is they'll set up a time to connect with me, and we can look and see what you got going on. What is it that you want to achieve? What are the goals that you want to achieve in 2023? What are some of the struggles that you've been dealing with? And how important would you be to achieve that? And from there, if I feel that I can help you and you qualify into the program, we can set you up we can do some coaching and to really create massive transformation. Well, just one little thing that I just shared here, we can take it to a whole nother level and really drastically shift your life for the better of what it is that you desire. So if that resonates with you and what I shared today and you want to take it further, www.callwithdrvic.com. It's in the show notes. In the bottom of the show notes, you'll see the link there. I'm going to click on it and look forward to having a conversation with you. Until next time, keep rocking and rolling.